Welcome you all my dear students. In today's class, I am going to discuss with you one of the Victorian era poem, Dover Beach by Matthew Arnold. Matthew Arnold is the best remembered as a poet and, and a cultural critic. His remains among the best known of 19th century English poetry. He was also characterized as a sage writer, a writer who instructs the readers through his meaningful verses. The Dover Beach is Matthew Arnold's best known poem written in 1851 when the religion was under the tremendous pressure from the sciences and the evolutionary theory. Matthew Arnold thought that poetry would replace conventional religion and become the new spiritual force in society. The poem is a reflection of crisis of faith during the Victorian era. Now I am going to reading the first stanza. Listen, you hear granting roar of fables which the waves draw back and fling at their return. Up the high strand begin the kiss, then again begin with a tremendous cadence slow, bringing a eternal note of sadness in. In the first, the poem opens on the tranquil note, vividly describing a natural setting. The sea at Dover sees calm and the tide is high. The moon is shining brightening upon the narrow English Channel, which separates England from France. The poet calls his wife to come and window fresh air, and he draws the attention of his wife to the churning water of the seas that the rub against the fables, casting them among the directions. The water comes ashore, acids, and the repeats that back and forth motion increasingly. It seems it the ordinary to do it over and over again with the no in spite. That darkness, solitude, the towering the cliffs and the ceaseless groan seas sea makes a poet sad. The poet sad. Second stand. Sophocles long ago had an agaton and brought into his mind turbid ebb flow, a human misery. We find also the sound of thought, hearing by the distant northern sea. The poet alongside a Greek tragedy writer, Greek dramatist Sophocles, who heard the eternal note of sadness when he sat beside a Aegean sea, and which brought his mind the endless suffering of man. For the philosopher writer, humans have to endless context, hardship punctured by short spells of happiness as they live their lives. The poet compares the human misery to the constant motion of the seas, the turbid ebb and the flow of human misery. Both the Sophocles and the Arnaud share similar thoughts and permission the misery in spite of the great between their times. In third stanza, the sea of faith was once two at a full of around the earth's shore lay like the folds of bright brinkled figures, but now I only hear its a melancholy along withering the roar, retrying to fresh breath of the night wind drawn by the worst wedge's breath, the neck the shingle of the world. The strange and introduces the central idea of poem. He compares the deep religious faith of man worst sketching endless sea. The sea of faith, once used to the permit people's lives, protecting them from the doubts and despair, like a reserving the water of the ocean. During the above past, faith has suffered gradual erosion. This has brought misery and gloom to mankind. This has happened as a result of the scientific discoveries, Darwin's theory of evolution and the species and the urbanization. The poet refers to the idea of the world being covered in the naked the shingles. The first stanza, O love, let us be true to one another for a world which seems to be before us a land of dreams. So various, so beautiful, so new, hath really neither joy, nor love, nor light, nor certitude, nor peace, nor help for the pain. And we are here as darkening, darkling the pains, swift with the confused the alarms of struggles and the flight, where ignorant armies clash by night. In the final stanza, the poet tries to cast the of the thoughts, despairing the thoughts, and the returning his wife to his side. He tells her, he tells her that they should be true of each other. He believed that love is the final truth, the last frugal human resources. He emphasized that world which seems like a land and dreams of full of opulent beauty, joy, and optimism has neither love nor beauty nor radiance. The human beings represent the ignorant armies fighting a battle of total darkness. The world is deceptive, a word of wishful thinking, a mere shadow without a substance. Now analyzing the of this poem, throughout the poem, there are the series of metaphors merging together. The poem appears to be an elegy where a poet mourns over the universal laws of faith. The literary allusions are aptly used to the substantial his point. The poet's mourning over the situation with a deep regret has made his impersonal elegy an unforgettable piece of England literature. Therefore, he compares the man struggling in the world to armies struggling on a plain at night. There is a sound of confused the alarms and the struggles, but the soldiers are ignorant to what they are fighting for. The poem describes his battles with the love, life, and faith, his religion. Thank you for watching this video.